I love how this episode, after basically clapping cheeks in another world last week, he put a ring on it. He's a true gentleman. He realized, hey, listen, if I'm gonna treat her like an absolute hoe, I gotta at least know she's got a man by her side. Slap that band-aid adhesive right on that cut, baby. Just one big fantastic misunderstanding. Like, this episode more or less confirms that, like, yeah, they were definitely just training all night long, but the jokes ain't gonna stop, and in my heart, I'm gonna say there was at least a break time where, similar to that very ugly elf who was bongoing on her rear end, I think our boy wanted to do just as much. Didn't even think about the fact that it looked like a ring at first. I was like, oh, he just busted out it literally looked like he was going to open up a Pokemon pack, and it was just, his own signature band-aids. And she's like, wait a second, you put it on my finger. Oh my goodness. So there's a fantastic joke, though, in this episode that I didn't realize until afterwards. So they do say this girl's name, Ahmed, right? I was like, okay, whatever. I'm thinking it's, some Egyptian name, because ultimately we have, like, the Egyptian theme. And I'm thinking the whole time we have, like, a crossover episode, but in the way of, like, you know how each Ranger show kind of has their own thing? You got the dinosaurs, you got ninjas, whatever it's going to be the theme, right? In this case, band-aids, adhesives, bonds. That's his thing. Okay, Egyptian. Makes sense. I just realized what they were going for. Kamen Rider. Amen Rider. This is just one big Tokusatsu Isekai love letter, isn't it? That's pretty good. Oh man, of course, you want to support my work, see my full thoughts on these episodes. We got the Patreon, full and cut live reactions, available exclusively over there if you're so interested. So, very, very good episode. Ain't gonna lie, probably my favorite design we've seen in the show. So initially when she just transformed to begin with, I thought coolest design, or at least in top 3. I really liked it. Probably helps that I'm a big fan of Egyptian themes and stuff, so just kind of clicked with me. But the more she popped coins, and there is a freeze frame, so we know she has 7, I think it is. One of them's a crocodile, one's a camel, and I'm like, what do you need a camel form for? I don't know, but I guess you're in the desert, so I guess it works. But, like, the idea that the more she transformed, the more I was like, that's so cool. And initially, I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is just going to be a fun situation. But now I'm kind of wondering if she will tag along, especially because, like, the prophecy talks about how, like, the last, or one of the leaders of this tribe or whatever, worked with the hero. We do have an empty podium when it comes to the Zord, so she could fit right in. And if they go the route of allowing her to actually work with us post this arc, I would be more willing to believe all of them end up with a suit of some sort. But I was under the assumption they would all have, like, the same type of suits if they ever did that. Now I'm wondering if each of them will have their own unique style of Sentai, know what I mean? Like, maybe one of them gets more of a wizardy style look, a sorcerer one. One gets ninjas, one gets dinos, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm hoping for too much, but after seeing what they did with the Egyptian theme, man can have his dreams. I will admit, though, it is kind of funny, though, when you think of it. So, they left it really up in the air last week. The only thing that you just said to deny the clapping of cheeks was, do you think I'm that type of woman? Which is, funny, because the sluttiest people I know would say the same things, and they most certainly do. So to have this episode confirm that, yeah, they really were up all night training, but I guess your imagination could run wild that maybe skin-to-skin contact is how they really bonded. People can hope. But if you really think about it, this man came so close to clapping cheeks in another world, only for the ugliest elf known to man to steal his woman away and actually clap her cheeks. Like, that is disrespectful. Like, what the hell, man? I really like this episode, though. I thought they were, like, hallucinating at first when they saw all the cactus. I was like, yeah, they're just seeing a mirage. No, it actually existed. And they actually have some fun with, like, the physics and shit of the world, because ultimately, like, when he, like, his main, like, form of transportation, if he's not stomping through the world in giant robots, or as, Logi would say, golems, is like the things that circle around him, and it basically acts like a giant fan. He's like a makeshift Green Goblin, right? So because he tries flying through the cactus, basically all the, like, the needles, like, they all, like, suck into him and attack him like a like a pin needle attack from Pokemon. I thought that was like very, very clever. But yeah, things are looking good. Over the course of the show, they've like hinted at, they showed us some serious stuff in a flashback, and they've hinted at his, Red's personality, right? Some people think, oh, he's faking a persona. I don't think so. I think it's just, that's how he wants to be, but, he's obviously suffered loss in the past. And yeah, there'll probably come a point where, similar to something like a cautious hero, he'll snap and, serious shit will occur. This episode, he hints that the more he hears of prophecies, the more he thinks of this girl from his life. And we've seen her once, like around the midway point of these episodes, like maybe episode 3 or 4, I think, or maybe 4 or 5, I don't remember. But there was one scene where we did see of her. And it's interesting because he's definitely a lot more serious when he thinks of this. And I'm interested to see how far they're going to push him. Because ever since they started showing that, he's very serious about keeping this going as it is. I don't think he's faking his niceness. I just think, he's definitely lost things. And if something snaps, that, yeah, he'll probably be on a warpath, most likely. I assume we'll have something like a cautious hero moment in the show. It will be interesting, though, because, there has been hints of, like the black aura and stuff. So, will he become a Black Ranger? Only time will tell. But either way, cool stuff brewing. Very entertaining. Animation on point this episode. Like, the animation's been good, but they had a lot of fun, especially when it came to Logi fighting. At one point, he transforms into, like, this demonic jousting spear, which was really cool. I don't know. It's just, the whole thing was just very, very fun. And I love how you can just have so much fun interpreting jokes and it's just funny, man. Like, you can't have a girl's ass being bongo drummed as he's kidnapping her after you literally had the clapping cheeks joke last week. It just writes itself for more and more misunderstandings, and that just brings me great joy. I'm hoping she will be a teammate. The one thing that gives me skepticism longer than this arc is that she's kind of the leader of this area, so I don't think she's going to go off adventuring. But then again, I played plenty of video games where leaders of villages did just that, so I guess it's not entirely possible. But if they do allow all of them to have suits, I think it would be very, very fun. And an absolute love letter of crossovers to have each of them have their own transformation. Like, she has like a tome with coins. He has his transformer with the band-aid that he puts in. I think each of them should have their own style and theme. I think that would be fantastic, but I guess time will tell. You let me know your thoughts and feelings though down below. What did you think of this episode? Definitely one of the funnier ones for sure for me, but your thoughts. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Sebastian Just, Keegan Miller, Aldo Yalcium, Jan Peterson, Hune, Zeekster, Michael Latham, and we also have Dadius Grunt. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You all have a good one.